Hello, it's Paige again. I went kind of long on my first prompt, so I'm gonna try to go through this one a little bit faster. But yes, so my second prompt is talking about contemporary American poetry movements. The movement that I chose was beat poetry, like the beat poetry movement. It started in the 40s in New York City, and then it kind of moved, and the heart of the beat poetry movement was in the 50s in San Francisco. So beat poetry was the reclamation of poetry from the modernist pedestal of the new critics, and they wanted to also infiltrate the academy of these new poets and new critics, and I really like this because I really like unsophisticated art, and I like the fact that they were trying to take art back, and that poetry didn't need to be something really sophisticated and luxurious, because I think that once you take yourself too seriously in art, and when you start thinking too hard about it and you're doing it for money or whatever, then the point of art is gone. So, let's see this. What literary, cultural, social conventions these artists were trying to counteract or interrupt was, or I guess what they were trying to do was they wanted to write about sexual liberation, also drug liberation as well. They rejected materialism. They were nonconformists, and they wrote a lot in free verse, and they were spontaneous, and they just wanted to counteract everything that was kind of going on at the time. If you think about the 40s and 50s, you think about, I don't know, very fancy people. No one was really chillaxing, they wanted something to just be able to express their art, not have to care about what people thought about it, if it was good enough or if it was sophisticated enough. So yeah, two really big poets of the beat generation was Allen Ginsberg and Jack Kerouac. Allen Ginsberg is actually credited as one of the founding fathers, if not the founding father of the beat poetry movement. He was an ambassador for enlightenment, and he really just wanted an open society, and both Allen Ginsberg and Jack Kerouac were big proponents of sexual liberation and promiscuity and drug use in different religions. Jack Kerouac he wrote about Buddhism, Catholicism, promiscuity. He wrote a lot also in spontaneous prose, and Jack Kerouac is credited for inspiring and influencing a lot of rock and roll artists during that time, like Bob Dylan, the Beatles, and the Grateful Dead, and the Doors have all accredited Jack Kerouac to influencing their music. So they were just super liberal guys, that hippie dudes writing about their life and what they were going through. And lastly, I think this movement was really important because it explored things that were still very taboo at the time, like sex and drugs. Also, Eastern religions like Buddhism, that's something that was not talked about or anything in America. Same with Catholicism at the time, it was solely Christianity, Baptist, Methodist, not Catholicism. That was still kind of seemed like separate, because Catholicism was mostly practiced in Europe. But as more people started coming to America, I got a notification. As more people started coming to America in the early 1900s, Catholicism was coming over with these immigrants from Italy and Europe, but it's still like Catholics were super like separated from society. Also, they intensely portrayed the human condition, and they were just super emotional, like feelers, and I don't know. I just really like this movement, and what really caught my eye about this is one of my favorite singers, and one of her songs says she gets down to beat poetry. So when I saw this, I was like, okay, like I should do beat poetry and find out what it's about. But actually, I really like the movement. I think that it is very interesting, and I think I like that what these guys were doing. They were just exploring foreign taboo topics and like chilling. I don't know. I like it.